Hello, thank you for joining me. Hope you're doing well. We live inside of a hexagram, more specifically a hexagram hologram. We've been worshiping Saturn our entire lives, and you're not aware because you don't understand what the symbols of Saturn are. The truth has been hidden in plain sight, and it's time we start decoding. I discussed in a separate video how we've been born into free-flowing sine wave reality and how Saturn and the Moon work in tandem to project square waves onto this reality, which is a hologram. I know some of you are thinking, but I'm obviously real. You can still move around in this hologram, but it has limitations like time and space, which our spirits do not respond well to. Again, we come from a free-flowing sine wave reality that has infinite potential. The Christian phrase born into sin is actually born into sine. The abbreviation for sine is sin. We've been hexed. Inside of a hexagram, there's the hidden symbol of a cube. One of the symbols for Saturn, as I've discussed, is the cube. We put the cube on our head when we graduate. Muslims worship the cube of Mecca. Jewish people use the tefillin, and many logos contain the cube. Another symbol for Saturn is the Saturn swoop, representing its ring. In my last video, The DNA God, I briefly discussed how L, or Saturn, writes the code in our DNA. Carbon, the most important of the 5 elements in DNA, is composed of 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. This is the classical mark of the beast, and life on Earth actually used to be silica-based, but I'll get into that in a separate video. Lucifer is another word for phosphorus. When phosphorus is combined with various elements and carbon, it forms our DNA. Food for thought. So where attention goes, energy flows, and our attention is flowing towards these cubes. We're staring at black cubes all day like the iPhones and television, and we think it's normal. But like I've said, cubes do not exist naturally in nature. Our children play with Legos, dominoes, Rubik's cubes, Minecraft cubes, and none of this is trivial. These cubes are furthering these square waves, interfering with the sine waves. Our reality is based on belief. This hologram can be changed and altered based on intent and perception. But because most of us believe exactly what they're feeding us, things remain material and confined. Money and time are confines that we keep feeding into. Our divine spirits, again, don't know anything but the infinite potential that our original sine wave reality brings us. When we pray to anything other than our own divine potential, we're actively telling the Creator that we don't believe in our creative abilities. And whether or not you believe that to be true, we are creating everything in front of us. And worshiping Saturn is in part creating this unnatural, hellish matrix that we're living in. We're currently worshiping El. Some of you will say, but what about God? Don't you love God? First of all, Allah, the Hebrew God, and other deities are all the same entity. And second, we are extensions of the Creator, so once we place ourselves outside of Him, fucked up things happen. What I'm saying is our God is the one who hexed us because we are redirecting, limiting, confining energy into God with our intent. You can think of it as a computer. This computer responds to blood, and an easy way to start the journey of removing the hex is spilling your blood over your divine intent and publishing it to the internet like the rest of us. We're not supposed to be in physical form, and we're definitely not supposed to be buying into concepts like money and time, which, like I said, further reinforce this matrix, this computer hologram that has placed hexes or hexagrams on us. I hope that wasn't too much. It's a lot to absorb, I know. I'll discuss this in future videos, and thank you for watching. I love you all.